Five, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring this evening in the crypto market. XRP right now is down 7.15%, but as we know, it's up over 450% in the past roughly 30 days. And if you go back to November 3rd, November 4th, XRP's price was at 48 cents. So it's well over $2 a token above where it started. And I think right now, a lot of people that might have come on the bandwagon a little late, they watched it go up so quickly that they were like, holy crap, this is never going to stop going up. And a lot of people have bought above this area right now. I know a ton of people right now that have bought at 270, 280, 290. And now they're sitting here not sure exactly what to do. And that's the danger of buying when you're on such an extreme push up. Now, yes, it is true that XRP is on the verge of something historic here that we've never seen in the XRP price, period. It's never hit these levels that it's aiming for. XRP is eyeing that $5.40 mark, and that doesn't come without consolidation. That doesn't come without the prototypical just retest, the fair value gap test that we've had below. But also, there's such a large amount of liquidity both ways that after you go up for such a large amount of time, you need to have these big pullbacks. 22% was beautiful earlier. Like, I was jumping for joy when I'm from, and I know it sounds crazy, but when it went from $2.92 or $2.91 down to $2.26, I was so happy because it retested that area where our first descending wedge target was at 222, and it got to back test that area. It's like if some of you are watching XRP Healthcare, you might be like, oh my God, it's only at 19.6 cents now. And yesterday was at like 30.29. We had wicks up that, it's just that with the small market cap tokens, it wicked up to like 47, 48. But to be able to sell that wick is impossible. The fairer value that you would have got, you could have sold at about 29.30. But when you look at the chart, this is a perfect one when you're looking at a possible retracement. And this is in a descending wedge, it looks like. And right now, it put in what looks like could be a massive W reversal. And if this holds true, I mean, this is, who knows? Who knows where this would end up going? If it goes to new levels, that would be crazy. But these are the consolidations you can expect. And this was a much more overzealous one than XRP's had so far. So I just wanted to show it. Look how big of a pull. This had a 69% pullback. And now it's gained back 11% of that pullback so far. And that was on the extreme wick. So that's what you're going to see when you have something that goes for 25x. You're going to get the pullback here, and it's going to start to shuffle some of the liquidity back and forth. It's going to start to sway some people that might have been holding in a position. You know, so you always have that variable. If you've got people that have a ton of profit, or you've got some that have just tuned in, and now they... Bye. Be safe. Bye, Scar. And then you have some that buy in right at the end of rallies and they see something go up like XRP. They might have been watching it from 45, 50 cents. They didn't buy it at 50 cents or $1 or $1.50 or $2. And then when it's 275, they're like, oh my God, it's never going to stop. And then they go in and buy, you know, and then I've gotten a lot of messages today with precarious positions from some. And it's quite ironic because most of these names have.
I have to give my money first.
Oh, yeah. How much do you think, Scar?
I don't know. Last time I got like 25, like 30-ish.
Here's 40.
And it's
Here's
hot.
40.
Okay.
And you know the deal. Bye for everybody. Yada, 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 brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you need more, let me know, okay? Okay. But yeah, so... Sorry about that. So getting back to it. So I've gotten a lot of precarious messages about a lot of emails, and it's kind of disheartening a little bit to see how many people bought in when it was at that 270, 280 level. And it's like these same people have been watching, got that pure FOMO. But the beauty of this is XRP is doing its consolidation right now, right? And it's so crazy for me to say consolidation because for years I've been talking about XRP at the 50-cent level. Now it's literally $2 higher. $2 a token high. Like, you could literally do whatever you want right now. If you bought in with me at 34, you could do whatever you want. You know? But I see some higher ambitions here. And then some of the cool things about this, and we only got 4 minutes before it flips, but VThor today is up 22% right now. VChain's up 34%. So even though XRP is consolidating, some of our other ones are hammering it. DGB's up 18% right now. ZIL's up 15%. HBAR slowed down, but it's over 31 cents now. Oh, it's cutting out. Ugh, I hate YouTube so much sometimes. All right, I'm going to turn this off and restart it via the Wi-Fi, and it'll fix it. All right, well, let's see if this worked. I suspect this will work. Yep, no, I know I'm breaking up. It should be good now, hopefully. And if it's cutting out now after this, reset. Restart your stream. Close the stream and reopen. Yep. I see a lot of people saying close the stream. Yep. It should be fine now. I'm so glad. Like, thank you to the audience for telling me that. As long as I know that YouTube's making it choppy, and I've done nothing else. I've done nothing else. Alls I've done, literally, alls I've done is unhook my Wi-Fi, or turned off my internet and turned it back on. And you see how easy it fixed it. So that's YouTube. That I don't know what they do, but there's no reason for that. Anyhow, so ZIL's up 16. VChain's up 33%. VThor's up 22%. Some of the notable ones. IOTA's up still about 27%. It's retraced some, but I mean, look at it at 47 cents. It was just at 20 cents like a couple days ago. AMP, we've been waiting for another push up. It's up 24.8% right now. VELO's up 13%. So there have been some other notable movers. I talked about, and I hope some of you bought this on BITUNIX. I only have just about 2,000 shares, so I don't have the craziest amount of exposure. But KDA, I've been talking about on the for the IoT tokens, part of the main framework, and it's up 44% today. Yesterday it was at $1.08, I believe it was. So we've had some serious movement here. It's nice to see DGB up about 20% as well, coming on board. But you know, let's focus now on XRP. I just wanted to go across the landscape right now. Bitcoin and Ethereum have been pretty volatile as well. XRP, we know, has gone anywhere from $2.92 all the way back down to $2.25, 26 area. And now we're in that retracement mode. So I think this is going to be a very interesting stream. Chris Allard, I seen a name that I haven't seen in a long time. Welcome back, friend. And I apologize. There is simply no way I can get to everybody's comments. So I'm going to do what I said I was going to do the other day. And when I first start, I'm just going to simply look. And when I get ready for this intro, after the intro, I'll just go through. If there's any new members that have joined Tom's Army or anybody's membership that are re-upping, I'll just read it out from my studio page. But other than that, we're going to go through this. We're going to make this nice and positive. We don't play the victim here. We play the winners. And I want helpful, not hurtful in the comments. Some people say that I push this point too much, but it's my point to push. So I want people to be kind, not rude. I want positivity, not negativity. I'm so tired of the negativity in the world. So tired of the negativity I see often in the comments. You know, it's just embrace this. Embrace this. This doesn't come around every day. I can promise you that. So, Jan, thank you for rejoining in Tom's Army. I greatly appreciate that today. And Jan has been in Tom's Army for, let's see, 36 months. So, Jan, thank you for re-upping for 36 months today. We have Steve, thank you for rejoining for 6 months today. And Puentes, thank you for rejoining in Tom's Army for your 20th month today. And the only thing I missed was we had a couple new members yesterday join after the live. Shaky Lake, thank you for being a month one of Tom's Army. Gerald, thank you for joining Tom's Army in month one yesterday. So thank you for that, and that's all we're going to do with that. So if you're new in Tom's Army, or if it's your, let's just say it's your time, I will talk about it. Chris Allard, thank you so much for rejoining in Tom's Army. I really appreciate that for 3 months plus. The notifications didn't happen. Nope, they never do. Now, this is interesting. XLM just dropped 5% real quick there on the flip of the clock. Looks like a small bull flag's formed here, but we'll see. It's interesting the way that this just shook out here. Oxlom decided to, now look at it, now it reversed back course. See that? See what's going on here? We're good. We have an ultra volatility here. Ultra volatility here. Ultra volatility. And Philip, thank you for joining Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I really, really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Sir smokes a lot, not only in Tom's Army for his third month plus, but says, hey, Tom, I had my testicular fortitude today. Held strong and bought the dip. That's definitely some testicular fortitude. That's definitely some fortitude to see that. Kelly, it is good to see a friendly face indeed. Welcome in, love. I'm glad to see you in here. I'm glad to see everybody in here. There's so many comments. And I can't even see out of my left eye, so it's hard for me to even see that side. So sometimes I miss some people. But there's so many, like my mods in the house, Syrian and Rick both being in the house right now. Mods, I love it. Love it. Love that everybody's coming in right now, even though we've had a consolidatory day. So let's get into the charts. Let's get into the charts, because this very well could be a head and shoulders pattern. It could be a topping reversal. Could have been a double top there, as any of you were in the update this morning. Now with the further pattern, that's the kind of, basically the little bit of a channel we have formed here. I'll be interested to see if we take the down route or if we take the route back up to resistance and see if we can, you know, we've got a lot of consolidation to do. So we came down to near that 222. I'm curious to see, even if it holds, would it be possible for it to come down and double bottom on 222, or does it just come through? If it were to come back down, pretty precarious positioning here, because now we're kind of at a battle of the wits here. So now we're at the, okay, we had a bunch of people hold from so many levels or so-and-so level, or all the way up that they're just swing traders, or they don't want to hold forever. And then you've got that coupled with the fact that when these sell-offs come, how much new money is there that wants in that missed out? How much XRP are you recommending holding for life in your opinion? Man and his dog. Thank you for the $5 donation, my friend, and being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. I personally believe 10,000. You just got to have it somewhere stored away. You have 10,000 of those babies stored away. And if it does do the unthinkable for what some think, and I'm not talking about 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 a token. I'm simply talking about the unthinkable to hit $100. Like my target personally is $10. And on 10,000 tokens, that turns you in from 3,500 from where we bought to over 100,000. So, but in the positioning of, let's say we get to 10 and now we start moving to 15. Imagine if it gets above 10 and you're talking about, okay, now we're talking 6 figures and above. You know, that's going to be, and we're not that far away now. We're literally the same move we've made coming up from 35, 40, 48 cents. Actually about 48 cents. We're that same move away from being at $10 now from where we just came from. That's the freaky part. If you think about the 430% move roughly we've made since November 3rd, we're that one move away now from hitting $10. Before, you had to make that extraordinary move just to get to 250. Now we've made that extraordinary move to 250. Now you make that same move again, and you're staring $10 down the barrel. Now, for me, my grandstanding target here is not $10 today. It's not $10 next month. My only target I care about right now is $5.49. That is it. That's it. XRP, even when it came out of here, almost came up to 306 like we were talking about. Came up shy to 292, I believe it was, 290 something. So, I mean, it just missed coming out to even that little. That was a preemptive target that we had. We didn't even know what the pattern was, but now we can clearly see what could be a head and shoulders. I'm having a very hard time trying to figure out if this is something like, and this is why I'm having a hard time. Is this actually something big like this that's forming? And if you cut through this wick, and this is something I've been questioning, and I would love the audience's help. Is it possible that we're forming something like this coming off the uptrend?
30.
Huh?
It's 30.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he's even going to be up that long. He was shaking his head on the chair out here before he did his feeding, Julie. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly where this is setting up. What happened to the 3-to-1 XRP to XL? I don't know what you're talking about. The fact that I say it should be about 3.5 to 1, that was the traditional ratio And once it spread out from that, it showed a long time ago that XLM was a better buy at the time than XRP because that ratio was not where it should be. It should be somewhere about 3.5 to 1, 3.75 to 1 from what I've witnessed in the past. Now it's out of whack again. It had closed the gap when XLM initially had that run up. Now it's at about 5 to 1 again. So there's some room for improvement for XLM. That's why I feel like XLM is going to have the next big move compared to XRP. If they, it looks like it needs to, and that ratio needs to tighten up here. But like if you look at XLM, as long as this pattern holds and now we have more evidence, like I don't know if it's going to come down farther, but it does look like a pennant flag consolidation for XLM. So if it can break out of here, it's got very high ambitions here out of this breakout. Right now in current times, it's 96 cents. So, I mean, is this another prototypical consolidation, or is this where we start to pull the Batman top and end up finding ourselves somewhere on this consolidatory route that we talked about? Because if we find ourselves in the consolidatory route, I'm going to get rid of this resistance, but the uptrend, you'd find yourself somewhere down here about 34 cents. So I'm not impressed with XRP until we break $10. No, yeah, you're right about that. It's got a lot of price discovery. But remember, the only time the real price discovery can be found is when we break all-time highs and sniff that level we've never sniffed. Right now, we're just in a generalized consolidation for the last decade plus. I mean, maybe not decade, but like 8 years plus almost. And now we're finally starting to push towards that upper boundaries of this consolidation. Go ahead and sell. You'll be sad. Fuck. Oh, well, I had somebody message me earlier today that said, Tom, I finally took profit for XRP. I sold my bag. I bought it with you a long time ago, back in early 23. And I sold it for $2.30, or what was it, $2.37. And that was when it was at $2.23 or 26, 27 when it was still dropping. And I read it and they were very happy. And then they were asking me where I thought they should buy back in. Like, that is advice I can't even give you. If you sold it at $2 and whatever it is, at 237, which that's on 10,000 tokens, that's over 23,000, depending on your exchange. Now there's those tax implications. Now, the question is, do you have that money? Do you have enough money to the side to where you can pull that tax implication and be able to use your whole bag to buy more? Now, do you have to buy that much less? You're 25% less because that's the tax part of it. Like, there's a whole slew of questions that come along, and it might not be today, but it comes around quicker than most realize. Who was that with the $5 donation? I greatly appreciate that. So, but now they're sitting here and they're questioning, I guarantee it. They sold it at $2.35, buying it in with us at 34, 35 cents. And now they sold it. Felt like it was a great deal because initially it dropped another 12 cents. But now all of a sudden they turn around and not even 6 hours later, it's up 15 cents a token from where they sold it. On 10,000 tokens, 15 cents. I mean, you guys can do the math. Does my audience know how much 15, or I don't want to say it. How much is 15 cents times 10,000 tokens? Just, can you guys do the quick math? I would love to know. I would love to know. And that's how much the portfolio difference would be right now for this fine person. Exactly. $1,500. That's why it's like when it's moving like this. Now what do I tell that person? They sold at 235, 236. They were happy because it initially went to 225. And like I told them, it might go lower. But now you've got that. You're sitting there now with that moment. XRP's at 250, 380. You sold it at 236, and now it's $1,700 differential. Like, that's the problem with where it's at right now. Because when we were at 53 cents and it was moving a few cents, okay, a few $100 here and there. But now that the price is this high, a volatile swing, 2.5 cents is not even 1%. You know? Right now, $800 worth is not much. It's not much at all. So, 800 divided by $2.50, what was it? No, 53. 316 tokens. This is where it was at when we were buying it. Anywhere under sub 40. Well, 34 on mine. So on $800, I was getting about 2,300 tokens per $800. Now, if you buy it, you get See what I'm saying here? This is why I was so like, I couldn't believe it when we were in the midst of that accumulation phase and so many people didn't want to buy it. $800 worth is only 316 tokens now, James. $800 worth is 316 XRP tokens. That's it. When we were buying, let's just say you bought it at 39. That was 2,000 tokens for 800. You see the difference? 1,100 XRP would run you, at this point, that would be about 434 tokens. Where would you buy 1,100 tokens? Well, not 222 because you'd want to see it break through there. First level, I would say, is maybe $1.98. And look at these numbers still. Maybe $1.66, $1.68. I mean, but it's where the real money was made on XRP has already passed. I'm sorry, I hate to say that to everybody, but even if it goes to 10 or 20 or 30, from $2.50, you're talking 400% to $10. But if you bought it with us a long time ago in the bear market that just passed, where you could even got it at 38 a few months ago, but let's say you bought it at 35 on average. Like that move, what I was trying to play for, and some people are like, Tom, I hate when you talk like that. Because what about the people that it's not? I'm sorry if you didn't get in, but I've been doing this for almost 4 years without a day off. And I've tried to push us in the bear market spot big time. So 35 cents, you figure every time it goes up $1, you're making, and we'll just, for transparency purposes, we'll say it's about a 34 cent. So every time it goes up 100%, or every time it goes up $1, you make, about 300%. Well, now look, it goes up from 250 to 10. That's $7.50. Someone's going to make off of that about 400 or 300% from here. But where we're at, what we were planning for a very long time, the reason we sold out the top of a bull market and then ball back at the bottom of a bear market was for this exact moment in time. I don't want to have to stress about it when it goes up to 290 because it went to 254. I want to sit here and say, oh my fucking God, I bought this for $3,500 and we're over $20,000 still. I don't care if it's 25, 29, 22, 21, 18. The point is now you've got it by the balls. Even if it dropped down and it gets to 2 and you get nervous, you can still take your 3,500 and take 20 grand and walk home. You've got time to figure this out. And at the numbers it's at right now, it doesn't take much to move that portfolio. It doesn't. Either direction. But if you've been sitting in this for a number of years, to sell it without the technical target being hit, it's almost criminal. And yeah, it might cost you a lot of heartache. It might cost you a lot of consolidation and a lot of retracement. And some might leave. Christmas money, whatever, whatever the case may be. But when you break out of a descending wedge, and I know the comments aren't working, it's almost a blessing in disguise because then I can just do this. And I know there was a lot of people here, not many likes, but honestly, that's not my forte anymore. If you guys, I'm not going to talk about that. It's either going to be done or it's not. You guys can take care of that in the comments. That's not, I don't want to waste my time talking about that all the time. Then it throws people off. Some people honestly get offended when I talk about the like button or whatever. Sometimes all I can say is, I'm doing my content and I'm trying to get as many eyes as possible. And if you understood promoting yourself, you would understand why that's important. And if that's what really throws you off, I might not be the right person to watch and get all this great free information from you. Feel me? So on this descending wedge, the technical target, the first layer was $2.22. That was if you take the descending wedge from the 2021 area, from 198 down to about 11 cents. And you start to squeeze that, or not 11 cents. Right here it was 20 cents. So if you go from about 20 to $1.98, and that got you a technical target from where it broke out to about $2.22. Not about, it was $2.22. The actual target out of the descending wedge is $5.49. So for me to sell it before it fulfills this target, after I've watched XRP consolidate for so many years, it feels criminal to not wait it out. Hell, if we end up back at 50 cents, I mean, how many times were we there before? So there's layers, though, that are going to have to break before you just go back down to those levels. But there's a lot of stuff to be optimistic still about. This isn't a traditional market right now, so there's not a traditional answer. We've not witnessed anything like this before. It's the timing of everything. That almost looks like a bull flag is setting up here on that pull down. We talk about this a lot. Now, is it going to play out that way? Who knows? Because that was a bearish candle in the last 3-hour candle. Very bearish. The one before this. So if I had to guess, if this is playing some kind of bull flag, or it's playing some kind of bullish push, we came down here, and this part right here would probably form. It might come down here a little bit, maybe form the double bottom here, which is typical at 241 area. And then it would bounce out. It's not just going to do it where it's at. Even though it has the false gravata of what it looks like could be a flag forming, it never goes out right there. It's too easy. It would be too easy for traders if it just popped out. That's why it went up to 269, then came right back down. It was too easy. It would have been too easy. So now, usually you find not to the wick exhaustion that we had, but to the next candle where you had the wick exhaustion. So now it seems like more than likely maybe $2.38, even if bullish, could fall. It could hit. So I know we're at 254, but that is a possibility. Now, if we want to avoid any further consolidation, it's very simple. Just take the up route. Just take the up route. We just need to take the up route and head towards 297 and try to break home. Because once we break out of this, if it breaks out bullishly, there's nothing stopping us between here and all-time highs. It's just not happening. If this breaks out of here unabated right now, which I don't want that downward consolidation anymore. We went down to 224. That was good enough. If we break out of here unabated now, we could be knocking on the doorstep of all-time highs before Christmas. And that's the truth. If we break down out of here, we could be staring at $1.98 around, in the next week or two. But if it breaks out of here, I mean, I'm telling you right now, this could get hot and spicy if it does. Like I said, I was the happiest person in the world earlier when I seen that 22% drop. Like, some people probably would have thought I was nuts if you were in the same room as me. I'm like so happy. I even did that 60-second video, my short, and I explained as much. Let's see. Doge up 1 point. Look at IOTA, ladies and gentlemen. Look at freaking IOTA, baby. When we started this, I kept talking about it. It was at 38 cents it consolidated down. Remember what I said? Oh, man. That was a quick reversal. Hopefully it maintains, but that was a quick reversal. Look at that with IOTA, my baby. Oh, my baby. I was so urgent with that for a reason when it got on HOTCOIN. It was on there about 13 cents. I finished it off. I looked earlier, 17.87 cents. I'm a little disappointed it got so high because I was going to buy IOTA at 10 cents, but it wasn't available to me on a HOTCOIN or anywhere besides an exchange I won't use on Uphold because they're fraudulent to me. And I used them for a while. But I also know on HOTCOIN, I've been begging them to put XDC on there, any exchange that I use. And they actually messaged me today and said next week XDC should be on there and spot on HOTCOIN. So that's huge. The only problem is I wanted them to put it on when it was 1.5 cents. Now it's 8 cents. But it's 8 cent XDC. It's not the end of the world. But I want to see how hot we get here, if at all. It's a good sign to see IOTA got hot quickly. I'm not sure why it jumped that much already after we flipped. But to be up 15% here again is pretty remarkable. That's a pretty remarkable turnaround. AMP is another one that I feel like is just starting to get ready, and VELO. But AMP feels like to me it's just starting to build this bull flag. I've got 292,000 AMP. So I'm ready again. I reloaded back up. I had 100,000 on the consolidation after a massive push up back here. And then I watched this play out and I reloaded back up after the breakout. Came up here. And now it's just kind of settling. It broke back out of here. It was a perfect consolidation. I mean, this could not have done it any better. It gave everybody plenty of time to do what they needed to do. And now they can see with AMP. But it's setting up there for another push. If it has the follow through, we should be finding ourselves well over a penny here in the very near future. VELO started pushing a little bit. Just consolidates every step of the way. It broke out of that ascending consolidation. We were pretty certain it would. We thought it would. Now we're just waiting for that push up to 3.3 cents. Because it's going to have to happen here sooner rather than later. So I'm excited to see how this market transpires. And I appreciate 475 people being in here. I really, really do. Let me get into my comments real quick just in case there's something I need to see. because I am shadow banned on my live right now, so I can't see it on my actual screen, which is a shame. Does the host mean to hold or short time? What do you mean? Well, I mean, the host. So to hold or short time? It's a difficult question if you're trying to short the market right now. I typically wouldn't short it in a bull market because you never can tell the volatility. Right now I think it's a holding pattern. I think right now you're holding. At least I am. I've seen multiple people just scrolling through on social media that are telling everybody to sell everything, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it that way. I'm honestly not seeing it that way. Mayday X20 on IO today. Excellent, Jorge. Excellent. Ha, we're cutting out again. I love YouTube so much. I love YouTube so We'll see if that helped. But this is a common battle that I have with YouTube now. For some reason, and I'm not doing anything different. You can see me. So the fact that it cuts out, the fact that it shadow bans me, especially when we get a bunch of people in here. And you've seen we have the most people we've ever had in, and I'm sure some will leave. But that's the first time we ever got over 500 people in here at once. So it's nice to at least see that. It sucks that it keeps cutting out, but hopefully that helped. XRP Broska, thank you so much for the $4.99. I greatly appreciate that. Well, I've been here about almost 4 years in March. I appreciate that. I don't know if it's lagging anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. 500 people in here at once. Because it sounds fine on my end. It's nice to at least see that. Refresh. Yeah. You guys, if it's buffering right now, refresh it. I'm listening to it on my own. It's awesome. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm just talking to myself then. You guys, if it's buffering. My apologies, Tom went off. Oh, the commercials are. Oh, well, that could probably be an issue. Yeah, I know everybody's gonna leave now, so I'm just gonna cut this off and I don't know. I don't know. It's a shame though. That's a shame because we actually. My apologies, Tom went off. We had a remarkable push though, so. It's worst I ever seen. Restarted 2 times still. Oh, I know. It's remarkable. All-time high. Let's go, Tom. Thank you. Thanks for the $10. I'm gonna shut this off and I'm just gonna restart it. And if nobody shows up, that's great. You know, but that's all I can.